Nashua, New Hampshire. Dick Lutzk with Mike Morin. It's round 2 of the 2005 Tournament of Champions.
An exciting match, but not high scoring last week. Craig Holbrook knows he's going to have to do better than 337 to beat Dave Hodge today.
His 337 defeated Hugh Ferguson's 321 last week, setting up this afternoon's match with Dave Hodge. Let's meet our 2 contestants first. Last week's winner, our number 6 seed from East Bridgewater, Massachusetts. Welcome back, Craig Holbrook.
Coming in with an average of 130, his high single. 196, high triple is 505, bowling out of Hanover Bowl in Hanover, Massachusetts.
And his 347 in the ladder championship match, earning in the number 6 seed, and a 337 to 321 win over Hugh Ferguson last week, setting up this afternoon's match against number 4 seed Dave Hodge from Methuen, Massachusetts.
Dave Hodge will turn 25 1 week from today. Coming in with an average of 128, his high single 193, high triple 470, bowls out of Academy Lanes in Bradford, as well as Metro Bowl in Peabody.
It's round 2 of the Tournament of Champions. Craig Holbrook and Dave Hodge when we come back to Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire for Candlepin Stars and Strikes right after this. We saw Craig Holbrook defeat Hugh Ferguson, setting up this afternoon's match with Dave Hodge. Jeff Surette, Mark Gregory, and Chris Sargent waiting in the wings. And Craig Holbrook will be first to bowl here this afternoon at Leda Lanes in Nashua. 337 last week. Not one of the highest triples that Craig's ever rolled, but he'll take it because he was on the W side. We're underway. Craig the lefty from East Bridgewater.
He'd like that pin to sweep right off the lane, and it does.
Got a lot of wood to play out there.
Yeah. A lot of spray and pray potential.
And there's the spray, and nothing happens. Craig's 43. He and Rose have been married for 17 years. Their children, Mara, 14, Victoria, 10. He's been on TV a few times over the years on the old Channel 5 show, about 16 times. Been on our Candlepin Stars and Strike shows 7-ish times. Works his fountain setup for Coca-Cola Company. There's a great shot. Just doesn't get any nicer than that when you slide the 2-pin over to take out the 6, as he did there. Dave Hodge, first ball on lane 34. Dave, the youngster from Methuen, he's 24 years old. A recent graduate of Suffolk University with a degree in business. Almost made a great shot. He recently divested his interest in the Melrose Bowl and the Gloucester Bowl, and he works the front desk at the Marriott Long Wharf in Boston.
And in a supervisory position now. I didn't add that to your script, but he has now moved up just a bit.
I'll bet he's seen a few celebs check into the Marriott Long Wharf in Boston. It's a pretty nice place.
Turn this way. Turn sideways.
Look at this. Oh, he almost made 2 great spares.
I got a little bit of cold down.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. He'll be open through the first 2, but not for the lack of trying to make a couple of great shots. A pair of 10s for Dave Hodge, who has a lot of family and friends here today rooting him on.
All right.
Craig Holbrook working on a spare. Great first ball. Oh, that 8-pin almost went. A pin went flying by it. So he puts 9 in the spare. Piece of wood rolling in front of that 8-pin. He will take it straight on. 2 marks in a row. This is the Craig Holbrook we're used to seeing.
He isn't going to wait around like he did last week until the last 2 boxes in game number 3. He started last week with a 115. He'll probably exceed that if he continues along this route.
Tough shot here. The 2 and the 4 on the left, the 6 on the right. We'll try to cut the 2 over to the 6. going to make it, so he'll be open in the 4th frame. We'll get to some more of your cards and letters. We love to hear from you. If you'd like to mail us through the U.S. mail, our mailing address is Candlepin Stars and Strikes, 50 Television Place, Derry, New Hampshire, 03038. If you'd like to email us, there's our email address right on the screen for you to see. Dave Hodge will have a tough shot here.
Talking last week about the man in the tournament of, not tournament of champions, the WCBC. I don't want to feel like we neglected the women by not reading their final positions in the WCBC tour this year for women. Ricky Justice is the bowler of the year for the ladies, followed by Lynn Thompson, Judy Bowden. Joanne Rosano is 4, and number 5, Cindy Beatrice. WCBC tournament final scores for the year, all added up.
Three 10s sent in by Dave Hodge thus far. Another ball right in the pocket, a little thin on the 1-2 side, on the left-hand side. Brooklyn, spare opportunity here. 3-5-9 with a piece of wood between the 3 and the 5.
Dave Hodge, the number 3 WCBC bowler of the year this past season, for the 04-05 season, behind Craig Holbrook, his opponent today, and Sean Baker, who surprisingly did not make it into the Tournament of Champions this year.
That's the first time he leaves a pin standing. Got an interesting note sent in here by Stanley Sanborn from Alton, New Hampshire. And there's a great first ball by Craig Holbrook. Will it be a double? Crowd rooting him on. I'm sorry, Mike, were you done with what you were reading?
I'm all set, yeah, Dick. Yeah.
But Stanley Sanborn sent in a note from a senior state tournament in Concord. Here's a spare. Had it all the way. You could hear the crowd oohing as he just did nick that 10-pin. 2 marks in a row for Craig Holbrook. In 1990, at the senior state tournament in Concord, a 5-man team from Rochester, Bowlaway Lanes won by 37 pins. There were 37 teams, and we won both scratch and handicap with a score of 1565 total for the 3 strings. And he's got the names of the participants. Patricia Simpson at a 324, Stanley Sanborn at 289, Helen Jeunesse at 276, and there's Dave Hodge responding.
The back row, Dick, you don't see that very often. 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Come on, right here.
Picked it up.
Helen Jeunesse, I said, a 276. Roland Dorr of Alton, a 342. And Victor Gannon of Somersworth, a 334. And he and his wife watched the bowling at Leda Lanes. Stanley Sanborn from Alton, thank you for sending in that note. Dave with just a 4 in his spare. And he'll have to settle for an 8-box. Craig Holbrook now working on a double mark, looking for some bonus money. He put 2 marks together in the 2nd and 3rd frames, but was not able to string 3 in a row. That's off the head pin. He will put 5, 6 in the mark. He has an early 29-pin lead in the match. Looking for bonus money, not going to get it there.
But a 29-pin lead in completed boxes so far.
And a 10-box. Big crowd on hand at Leda Lanes. As you see, they're standing several rows deep for this, the 2nd match of the 5-match Tournament of Champions. Craig Holbrook right in the pocket. There they go. The 5-pin was a little bit reluctant, but it finally was coaxed over. As Craig Holbrook topples the timber for another strike, his second strike of the match. And he has 5 marks in the string already. Here's Dave Hodge trying to respond now, trying to keep his head above water. 9-pin drop. Here you get a good look at Dave. And the mark. Good clutch spare for Dave as Craig Holbrook was applying the pressure.
Congratulations, Dick, to the young bowlers from Pilgrim Lanes who went to Canada over the St. Patrick's Day weekend, or at least that was part of their trip. We were there, of course, for the fundraiser the month before, but just want to mention a couple of the names, how some of the bowlers did, in case you're wondering, if you are a supporter of that tournament. In singles, Division III boys, third place went to David Godwin. Doubles, Division III boys, first place to Michael Carrington.
2 marks in a row for Dave Hodge.
Teams did pretty well as well. Division I boys, first place. Division II boys, first place. Division III boys, first place. All events, Division II, first place for the boys. And the Sportsmanship Award went to Alyssa Southall. Division I and II, Division III and IV to Melissa Mahoney. Those are also very important awards besides just pure pinfall. We didn't get all the scores and all the names, but the kids represented Pilgrim Lanes and American bowlers very well in Canada last
Oh, another great shot by Craig Holbrook. With the spare inside the strike. Still looking for bonus money. He's got 6 marks in the string, but not 3 in a row. He's got a tough shot here.
He'll have no wood to work with, strictly the 4 and the 10.
Most importantly about those kids going to Canada, Michael, is I'll bet they had a good time.
I bet they did. A lot of moms and dads went along. It was 88 kids, a total of 184 people. I did make the trip one time, so I can confirm that a good time is had by all.
A 147 first string for Craig Holbrook. 6 marks in the string, but not able to put 3 together.
And much better than his highest 125 of last week.
Now Dave Hodge, who's working on a double mark. He could use some bonus money and some marks to get back in it. Good first ball, but not much to show for it. Put 6 in the mark. Got the 5, 7, 8, 9. Tough shot. Oh, he almost made it. He threw a great ball.
Body English did not help. Gave it a shot, though.
That'll be a 10 box. He's at 106. Could use a mark here. Candlepin Stars and Strikes, presented by McMulkin Chevrolet, Nashua Hyundai, Nashua Mitsubishi, and McMulkin Cadillac, all part of the Thompson family of dealerships in Nashua, and by Tri-State Megabucks and the games of the New Hampshire Sweepstakes Commission. Oh, he almost made the spare. That'll be a 10 box and a 116 first string for Dave Hodge. A 31-pin lead for Craig Holbrook over Dave Hodge after 1. String number 2 coming right up from Leda Lanes in Nashua. Pin lead.
Open, by the way, with 6 boxes to go, and I can't tell you how many people give me grief all year long on those years that you beat me, which has been 3 out of 5. All year long. You're practicing? You're going to beat Dick this year? I'm tired of it. Dave Hodge has a bit of a hole to climb out of. He's down by 31 pins, and this isn't going to help.
He has come so close on so many shots. And that'll be a 9 box to start out.
Told me that he's been recruited by some of the best bowlers to switch teams in the next year international event, the World Tournament as it's called. He'll be bowling with the likes of Gary Carrington, Mike Morgan, and other greats. And he's honored above everything else and flattered to have been asked, because that's the creme de la creme, some of today's bowlers.
Well, the piece of wood just didn't do him a favor. It's resting against a piece of wood in the gutter. It's at a very bad angle. He's got no choice but to play it and hope it goes right in it. There it is, and that's what happens. He had no other choice, no other way to go.
He would rather have had this to shoot, and even that didn't help.
Pair of nines for Dave Hodge to start out. Craig Holbrook with a big 147 first string.
$400 to our runner-up today, and the winner will then advance to play third seed Jeff Surette, who won his tournament series earlier this year with a 400 triple.
Craig with a split to start out. We have a terrific crew working here at Leda Lanes, making it possible for you to watch the Tournament of Champions. Kevin LaFawn's our director. Keith Webb is our engineer. Our camera crew of Stephanie Harder, Larry Haber, and Tanya Parry. Chuck Lothrop's on replay, Rich Burke on audio, Kristen Dubie's the timer, and Steve Kenny handling graphics. And they all make it possible for you to watch the finest bowlers in the world.
And Kate Nichols keeps score in-house for the bowlers in the gallery that you can't see on TV because we have the electronic scoring, but everybody can read her. Very legible and well done scorekeeping here at the Lanes.
Greg almost pulled one out of the hat. That one almost got away from him. But he'll take the mark and add to his lead.
I don't mind it. I move way right today.
That's a good first ball by Dave Hodge in the strike.
Got to make him feel a little bit better. Nice mixing action on that third box strike for Mr. Hodge from Methuen, Mass.
2 in a row. We have $650 in the triple strike jackpot. Dave Hodge will have a little bit of time to think about it as we'll go to the break after Craig Holbrook shoots his 2 boxes.
Come on, let's go.
But he'll be looking at $650. You heard him kind of root himself on just then. A little pep talk to himself. And Craig Holbrook puts 2 in the spare. A half Worcester on the left side. Good second ball, but no mark. So Dave Hodge will be the center of attention. Looking for 3 strikes in a row. That will be a 10 box. What a 10 box for Craig Holbrook. Wow. The 5, the 4, 5, 7 with no wood to help him. Good first ball there, and another split. With some wood to help him, he'll just have to spray that wood and see what happens. He's going to play the wood heavy, and there it goes! Great spare for Craig Holbrook. Both bowlers working on marks. When we come back, Dave Hodge will be shooting for the triple strike jackpot from Leda Lanes in Nashua. It's Candlepin Stars and Strikes. $650 in the till for 3 strikes in a row. Watch it. $650 and a standing ovation for Dave Hodge. And just as importantly, he climbs right back into the match. Now another $500 on the table there for Dave. He wasn't able to convert that, but still, that's a big payoff. Missed the spare opportunity there.
Has a 92 half. And just like that, things have turned around in this match.
And an 8 box.
We reset now the triple strike jackpot to $500. for the rest of today's match. Goes up to 5 1/4 next week. Unless it's hit again, of course, today. There's a 4 horseman for Craig Holbrook on the right side, but he goes from left to right, so this is conducive to his angle. Although he did kind of shoot it from right to left.
A lot of his ball goes right to left. A lot of his angles. So he puts 6 in the spare. He'll be open in the frame with a 10 box.
I got about a tie match, Dick.
Yeah, I've got Dave Hodge in the lead by a handful right now. It will be another open frame unless he can make a split here for Craig Holbrook. He gave it a great run, but he'll be open. It's going to be virtually tied. That will be a 10 box. That's a good 10. And it's a 1-pin lead for Dave Hodge over Craig Holbrook.
Wow. Midway through, we've got a brand new match going.
Yep. He came back from 31.
And made himself another $650 regardless of how he finishes today.
Trying to start another run of marks. He missed the head pin there.
Got to kind of calm yourself down after all that excitement. He didn't do real well on his first box after those 3 strikes on lane 33, and he missed the head pin again this time.
That's on the head pin. Missed the spare. So he'll be open 2 boxes in a row after the triple strike. And that will be a 9. 109 through 7. Got a great note here, Michael, from Bernadette Menard from Newport, New Hampshire. This is when you're going to get a kick out.
Had some terrible flooding last week up in Newport.
Up in the Connecticut River Valley area. A good first ball by Dave Hodge. Dick and Mike, I watch your show every week. You asked if anyone went bowling on their first date.
Huh?
My husband and I went bowling on our first date. Back then in 1947, men dressed in a suit. I remember he had on a black pencil striped suit, and he went down the lane on his butt. I'll never forget it. Yours truly, Bernadette Menard.
That's great. Yeah, we'd love to hear any of your first date bowling stories. Although you won't get to hear them read back till next season because we're on our last taping session of the year. So during the summer, put together a little story and share it with us if you have one.
Holbrook tries to break up the split. Surveying the situation is Craig Holbrook. Plays the wood and gets nothing.
Would you have guessed that he'd get nothing out of that? Unbelievable. Probably make it now with no wood.
Take an 8 box. Give up another pin.
Needs a mark to take the lead. They'll be down by 2 with just a 10 box through 8.
Half Worcester right side. So Craig, who rolled a 147 in the first string, is struggling here in the second string. It's a good second shot, and there they go. Big spare off the half Worcester.
These guys are good, I'll tell you. You just have great respect for their abilities to watch week in and week out.
Dave Hodge. On lane 34, the 1 and the 7 with a piece of wood off to the left. I don't think it's a factor. Missed the head pin. That was the factor. And that'll be a 9 box.
Well, he's gone. Sorry, Dick. He's gone markless since his burst of 3 strikes. Nothing before and nothing since. And Craig Holbrook now is marking again, so he could fall behind.
That's a good first ball. And a makeable spare here with the 5-8-9. No wood to help out. Missed the spare. He had a shot at the high string in the match. If he made that spare, we get $50 for the high string in the match. The 147 by Craig Holbrook in the first string will withstand the challenge thus far. A 9-box there and a 137 second string for Dave Hodge. Nice comeback for Dave after a 116. And now let's see what Craig does to finish the second string. Threw it past the head pin and just put 6 in the mark. Look at that 6 pin. It's leaning over like the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
You see they're building another office complex in that city in Italy to resemble it.
I didn't see that. Oh, will it go? No, it won't come back.
They'll be matching leaning towers. Yes. They won't be right next to each other, but
are they going to lean into each other?
Look like candle pins.
10 box. So Craig will take the lead into the third string. How much of a lead will depend on whether or not he marks here.
Craig was the runner-up in this year's WCBC Bowler of the Year. Ouch. And he is just ahead of the number 3 bowler, Dave Hodge.
The 1 and the 8, the only 2 pins to go down. That one got away from him. That's a 3 box. Maybe he won't take the lead. He needed a 4 to tie.
What a bizarre match.
That's a good out with an 8 and a 110 second string for Craig Holbrook.
Jeez.
And a 4-pin lead in the match over Dave Hodge, headed to string number 3. When we return to Leda Lanes in Nashua, it's the Tournament of Champions on Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Of the second round match in the Tournament of Champions, Craig Holbrook leads Dave Hodge by 4 pins. After 2 strings, a 147 first string for Holbrook, a 137 second string for Dave Hodge, and a strike to start out the third string by Craig Holbrook.
There was not a question in the world that that wouldn't be a strike. He just hammered that.
Dave Hodge hit the triple strike jackpot earlier for $650. There's $500 in it right now. Oh! Craig Holbrook would have liked a shot at that, wouldn't he? Opens with 2 marks in a row. Dave Hodge on lane 34.
Well, we had a very close match last week, Dick. It looks as though that'll be the case again this time.
2-4-5 for Hodge. Not going to make it. He nudged it, but not enough to knock it over.
He got to the Tournament of Champions by being the number 1 seed in his ladder and defeating Dan Allard in the championship match, 371 to 324, back in November.
Right on the head pin, a little pull and a split, the result. 3-6 on the right, 7 on the left. Piece of wood there. I wonder if he goes after the wood there, Michael, where if it's out far enough and angled far enough to take the 2. That's what he's going to do. Here it is.
Good call, Coach. Thing of beauty.
Well done by Dave Hodge for the spare.
And he needs that because Craig Holbrook has thrown up 2 spares. Actually, a strike and a spare to start his second string. Third string.
Looking for some bonus money is Craig. That's a pretty good ball right there, and there's the 5-pin staring right back at him. The 5-pin didn't move. It does now. That's $50.
Looking for 4 marks in a row. Will add $25 for each consecutive spare or strike.
Breaks up the split. Putting pressure on Dave Hodge with each successive mark. The wood comes way out.
That's a toughie. Especially coming from his angle, sweeping from left to right.
And he played it. The ball took the pin after hitting the piece of wood.
You're not always that lucky, Dick, with that kind of a shot.
$75 in bonus money now for Craig Holbrook, starting out the third string with 4 marks in a row, really putting the pressure on young Dave Hodge. He really must respond. He threw a good first ball, but couldn't break up the split. But he's got some pretty good wood out there right now with the 4-6-10. Play the wood on the right. There he goes. Oh, I thought he had it. Oh, look at that. Even Craig Holbrook was wondering what happened. His arms went in the air.
Couldn't hit it any better.
Played it perfectly and didn't make the shot. Down a couple of marks now to Craig Holbrook. Missed the head pin. Has the 4 horsemen left side. No wood to help out. The 1-2-4-7. Got a shot at it. Oh, look at that. The 7 still stands.
Boy, that's where you want to hit it, too.
Perfect. It looked to me as though it was placed perfectly. And that is the 10 box. We go to the break. And a 25-pin lead for Craig Holbrook over Dave Hodge. 6 boxes remain. Round 2 of the Tournament of Champions. You're watching Candlepin Stars and Strikes from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Remaining, Dick Lutz with Mike Morin from Leda Lanes in Nashua. The Tournament of Champions. Oh, he's tough. He is tough. That's 5 marks in a row.
Funny thing is, Dick, his high single is 196. He pops a double in here, it just stays real clean. He could come very close to that.
He's found the range. That was a pretty good ball, but he still has a tough shot here. 2-4-5-8. Right through. It's a 96 half. And an 8 box.
Nice run, though. 5 marks in a row, ending in an 8-pin 6th frame.
Gives him $100 in bonus money for the 5 marks in a row. He'll have the high string in the match. For another $50 in bonus money. The only bonus money Dave Hodge has earned thus far, a mere $650 for 3 strikes in a row. Dave just not getting lucky right now. Looked like he threw that ball perfectly again and did not convert the spare. So a 10 box for Dave Hodge.
As far as the money goes today, our runner-up will take home a check for $400. And the winner will go on to advance with Jeff Surette next week.
Good first ball. The 6-pin still stands. He's right on it. Good mark for Dave Hodge. So the lead for Craig Holbrook is 41 minus what Dave Hodge puts in his spare. So around a 35-pin lead with 4 boxes remaining.
Craig Holbrook won his 11th title back in September at the Beverly Bowlomat. He was the high bowler at 1432. Christy Moore was the women's winner. And as far as the bowlers for the Lucky Strike Lanes tournament that happened back in March, we can give you some information on that as well as we mark up a spare for Craig Holbrook. It was John Zappi, Sean Baker, Joe Tavernese, Chris Sargent, and Steve Baddy in the top 5 for the men. Women, Joanne Rosano was the winner, Ricky Justice, followed by Lynn Thompson, Judy Bowden, and Sue Holleran. Congratulations to all those bowlers in the Lucky Strike Lanes. That's in Boston, March 12th and 13th.
Interesting wood here for Craig Holbrook to try to convert this spare. Going to give it a shot. Nope.
Capped
he gets
it
nothing.
instead of grazing it.
Yeah. Open frame for Craig. And that will be a 9 box. He's at 130 through 8. A mountain to climb for Dave Hodge. He needs to string some marks back to back to back.
Craig Holbrook is just 13 pins shy of 400 with 2 frames to go.
It's a good ball right on the head pin. He busts up the split, but tough shot here with the 3, 6, 9, 10. The 9 pin being the sleeper behind the 3. Not going to make it. It's been that kind of an afternoon for Dave Hodge. He's placed the ball well many times, but hasn't had bowler's luck. That's going to be an 8 box. Time is running out on Dave Hodge. Good first ball. Spare opportunity. The 2-4-7, no wood.
Well, if he does not win today, and it doesn't look like he will, he still walks out of here with over $1,000. Thanks. In fact, he'll make more money in bonus money than position play today.
That's a nice spare for Dave Hodge in the 8th frame. So it will be a 43-pin lead for Craig Holbrook minus what Dave Hodge puts in the spare with 2 boxes remaining, and a mark here would just about end it. The 3-5 remain. Craig coming in with a 130 average. Missed the spare. His high single 196. Dave Hodge's high single 193. That'll be a 9 box. He's at 139.
And just 4 pins shy of 400.
That's after what, a 337 last week?
Yes.
Almost converted the spare. And a 10 box and a 149. 3rd string for Craig Holbrook, a 3-string total of 6.
So he's working his way up from the number 6th seed, plowing through Hugh Ferguson, and now Dave Hodge. Next up, Jeff Surette, number 3 seed, followed by Mark Gregory and Chris Sargent.
$100 in bonus money, $50 for having the high string in the match, so another $150 for Craig Holbrook. As Dave Hodge looks for some more bonus money to add to his $1,000 payday. Will it go? It will not. Good first ball, and there they go.
Well, there is room, you know, Dick,
Yep,
for another
there is.
$500.
Wouldn't that be something?
Best he can do, though, is 391, and that's still 15 pins shy of beating Craig Holbrook. But what a way to go out, huh?
Right on the nose.
Not today.
No bonus money. The triple strike jackpot will grow to $525 for next week's match. Oh, great spare to finish the match. 128 for Dave Hodge to Craig Holbrook's 149. 406 to 381. The final tally. We'll come back to talk to our bowlers when we continue from Leda Lanes as you watch the Tournament of Champions on Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Dave Hodge joins us. We have $400 for being runner-up, $650 for the triple strike jackpot, a total payday of $1,050. That's not too shabby.
Not shabby at all. It's just it's tough leaving, losing. You know, I mean, I feel like that's the best match I've ever bowled, and you know, to come up short. And after that triple strike, I said, well, you know, get something going now. You know, I mean, I had the opportunity to do it. I missed all the marks, and you know, Craig's a tough bowler, and I got to take advantage of everything I could, and I just didn't get it done today. But you know, I mean, it was a great match, and hopefully I'll be back next year. You know,
You came back from a big deficit when you, with the triple strike jackpot, put you right back into the match. You had to be feeling pretty good at that time.
I was. I told myself, I said, I got to put a couple together. I mean, I got to get something going and put a little bit of pressure on him. I mean, when you're down 30, 40 pins, I mean, same situation happened to me last year. John Winchell threw 170 last year against me. I'm sitting there just have some fun. That's all you can do. But I mean, bowling good and losing is always tough to leave. And
now let me ask you one question. You had the triple strike jackpot. You had 2 strikes, and we had to go to a commercial break and make you wait through it. What's going through your mind?
I just want to get up there. I just want to get up there. I don't even want to think about it because the bowling's not a thinking game. You know, you don't want to get up there and think. You just want to go up there and throw. Just throw the ball and that's it. And that's exactly what I did. I said, just fire it as hard as you can in that park and throw a sergeant ball. You know what I mean?
Throw a sergeant ball. Well, look, you know, it's disappointing to lose today. But you had a really good year on the Pro Tour. You came in number 3, which I think caught the attention of some bowlers who have asked you to join them this year on a brand new world team.
Yeah, I'm bowling this year. I'm very, very fortunate to be asked. I'm bowling with Sean Baker, Treeful, the All Saints. And the team's unbelievable every year, so I'm honored to bowl with them. And it's a big accomplishment for me, you know what I mean? Being this young, getting to bowl with those guys, it's like, you know, they want to bowl with me.
Turning 25 next week.
Yeah, a couple of weeks, turning 25, and it's a good birthday. $1,000. It's four times what I made last year, so I can't complain about it.
The future of Candlepin bowling. Dave Hodge, congratulations.
We always enjoy your company.
Bye-bye. Seeing you back. Dave Hodge, our runner-up. And now let's do the bonus ball contest. We'll have Craig Holbrook get up to lane 33, and we'll see if we can give away some money. We gave away $80 last week, so there's $10 in the bonus ball jackpot.
Missing information on that one. Sorry about that.
Information on the card, the name, address, phone number, number of pins, etc.
There you go.
Here we go. This is Mrs. Norma Taft from North Grafton, Massachusetts, and she wants Craig Holbrook to knock down 8 pins. Craig, you did it last week. Can you do it again? 8. He did it again. Another winner. $10 in the bonus ball jackpot, this time for Mrs. Norma Taft of North Grafton, Massachusetts. $10.
When's the last time we've had somebody do it? 2
Back
weeks
to
in a
back.
row, yet the same person.
Yep. You're on fire.
I found something I'm really good at.
Oh, no, you're too modest.
Well, you really, you found the range there. What took you so long?
I have no idea. I made a couple adjustments with my grip, maybe, and I kind of settled in. And then, of course, I knew I had to really bring it this time. I mean, Dave and some of the bowlers coming up are just some of the best in the world right now. So if I don't have it, I'll be driving home early.
It's a long climb up, starting from number 6 seed in the Tournament of Champions, and you've got to win the 5 matches to get there. But you did start slowly with a 337 last week, a 406 this week. What's the difference from one week to the next?
I don't know. I think I was a little more comfortable, maybe, that's all. I mean, I started out real good. Maybe that's what helped me more than anything. You know, when you're struggling, you kind of press a little more, and it gets harder.
Talking to Dave Hodge, he was the number 3 bowler of the year. You were number 2 in the WCBC. You have the second winningest male bowler now with 11 titles behind Tommy Olsta. You know, how much longer can you stay competitive? Because this is a game where if you keep yourself in good condition, you can go on well into your 50s.
I think so, yeah. I probably have a good 8 or 9, 10 years left. I mean, every year I think about quitting, but then I have a pretty good season, so I don't know. I mean, I enjoy time with my kids and everything, too, so I don't know. It's still a lot of fun for me, so I'm glad to be out here.
Time management. It's always a problem
That's what
when
it
you
is.
get up there. That sure is. Next week, it's Jeff Surette, and we'll look forward to seeing you, Craig Holbrook. Thanks very much.
See you, Craig.
Craig had $150 in bonus money, $100 in bonus money, and $50 for having the high string in the match. In addition, he climbs the ladder to face Jeff Surette
You
next
mentioned
week.
Jeff Surette, who had a 400 triple to win his ladder series, so it doesn't get any easier for Mr. Holbrook.
Tournament of Champions, week number 3 next week. For Mike Moran and our entire crew, I'm Dick Lutz. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Candlepin Stars and Strikes. So long, everybody.
It's time for the $30,000 Candlepin Challenge, brought to you by American Car Care Centers in conjunction with CNA and the International Candlepin Bowling Association. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to our championship show. John Holt with Dan Murphy at Pilgrim Lanes in Haverhill, and this is the show we've been waiting for all season.
Well, 36 long weeks, and some of these bowlers have waited several months to see if their score would hold up, but they're all here. You'll be introduced to them in just shortly, but they're going to be bowling for some pretty good pocket change.
Big payoff today. The bowler that loses in the Challengers match still not a bad day. Walks away with $1,000.
That's right. And then the winner moves on to the championship round. Loser there gets $2,500, and of course the big prize, $5,000.
Same format as always. 2 challengers square off. The winner meets the top seed, who is Jeff Surette, with his 303 top 2-game total from the regular season. We'll speak with Jeff in just a second. But first, the challengers standing by with Trina Fernandez. Trina?
Thanks, guys. I'm over here with the number 2 and 3 seeds, Bob Whitcomb and Dave Hodge. And you both had much different journeys getting here this season. Dave, you've been hanging on for a while. You qualified way back in December. How angst-ridden have you been?
It's been a long wait. Each taping I came to, I said, I called down the ball and I said, am I still on? I said, I finally hung on. Then was the last one. I was sweating buckets. There was a couple close ones. Once I said I was in, I was like, oh, what a relief. I was at the Red Sox game, too, so it was like, I enjoyed the game and enjoyed that, so it was nice.
Doubly good day.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, good luck to you today. And Bobby, you had a much different time. You qualified April 30th, knocking off Joe Cascio. And how you feeling?
I'm feeling good about it. You know, after the taping was over, I was in the number 2 seed, so I had a little buffer being ahead of one guy, so I felt pretty good, and I was at the last taping and was able to watch the last couple of shows, and when I was there, I felt pretty good about it.
Now, I saw you hanging around making sure you were going to be here today. Well, we're glad you're here today. We're glad you're both here, and we're going to meet the number 1 seed. Back over to you, John and Dan.
Trina, thank you. Jeff Surette in his 303, earning that bye to take on the winner of the Challengers match. You wait, you watch, you bowl for $5,000.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's you know, so much easier to just sit back, you know, just wait for the 2-string match and see what happens.
So there's no anxiety, no pressure as you wait and watch?
No pressure, just bowl my own game, and hopefully I'll throw a big score.
Good to have you, and good luck, Jeff.
Thank you.
We are back with the Challengers match right after this on CN8. Terrific to have American Car Care Centers on board all season as our title sponsor. Ace, the mascot, of course, with us as well. And we are all set for the Challengers matches. We say hello to our viewers in the Mid-Atlantic region on CN8, joining our New England audience for this championship show. Glad you're with us. Dave Hodge will go first. He's the 3 seed after posting that qualifying score of 285. And he will start by dropping 7.
Well, he tried to use the wood to convert the 5, 7, and 9. Got the 5 and 7, left the 9 pin. And he'll be open in the first frame.
This is just a 1-game Challengers match, 10 frames, so you've got to make your marks early and often, particularly if your opponent is doing it. Lanes 9 and 10 in use here in Haverhill. We're at the Woburn Bowlerdrome all regular season. Now for the championship show.
Big
Comes
ball.
to Haverhill. Drops 9.
Leaving the kingpin, the 5 pin for Dave Hodge. Trying to draw first blood in the match. And like John said, it's a sprint to the finish. Don't leave anything in the bag in this game.
There you go. First mark of the match goes to Dave Hodge in his 2nd frame. Now to Bob Whitcomb from Halifax. Bob has been bowling for some 30 years, he tells me.
And he drops 9, leaving the 9 pin. And take a look at the wood now. He can drive the ball. If he keeps it below the red line, to the left of the red line, he can drive the ball straight through the piece of wood into the 9 pin.
He'll mark in the first frame, so an early edge for Bob Whitcomb. See what he can do in the fill and follow it up in frame 2. Bob had a total of 301 to qualify as the 2nd seed behind the 303 of Jeff Surette.
We have Kyle Lohman on the lob line today. And Andrew Medeiros is keeping score on the big screen for the people in the audience.
And he'll fill it up with 9 and a chance for another mark with the wood sandwiching that remaining pin.
Almost the first strike of the match off the ball of Bob Whitcomb. But a beautiful fill on the spare, trying to make it 2 in a row, and he'll do just that.
2 spares for Bob Whitcomb. Those of you with terrific memories, regular viewers of the show, may remember last season, not this season, but last season, Whitcomb beat Dave Hodge 247, 241 here in the $30,000 Candlepin Challenge, and a terrific finish. Here's the fill now for Hodge, and he will get 6 added to his total in frame 2.
A little late with that delivery, left the ball out to the right. He was the 1, 6, 8, and 10. Takes out the 8-pin.
And that's the 9 box.
Settles for the 9.
The total's at 35 for the 25-year-old from Methuen, Massachusetts. He started bowling Candlepin at age 8. Quit all other sports, he tells me, baseball and basketball, and concentrate on Candlepin bowling. And he'll drop 8 here in frame 4.
That time he crossed over into the 1-2 pocket, the Brooklyn side, as we call it in Candlepin bowling, and he leaves a 6-10, but a makeable spare because of the wood. Ball's breaking right to left for Dave, so he's going to try to clip that piece of wood and follow it into the 10-pin. Right, just like that.
2 marks in lane 10. So frames 2 and 4 for Dave Hodge. Now Bob Whitcomb looking for his 3rd consecutive mark.
Similar styles. Both bowlers throw that hook ball. Ball is breaking right to left. And ideally, they wanted the 1-3 pocket. Oh, that one got away from him. Just 3 on the spare.
Missed opportunity for Bob Whitcomb. Now just 1 remaining for the 3rd ball. So he's open in the 3rd, and we have a tight match. That's a 10 box. Nothing left standing so far for Bob Whitcomb, up to 42 through 3. Bob has quite the resume. In 03-04, he was the World Candlepin Bowling Congress Bowler of the Year, the Pro Tour, and then just this year, as
Big
he
strike.
gets the big strike in the 4th. This year, he won the 20 stringer on Easter Sunday at Leda Lanes, and showing why there in the 4th. He has 2 spares and a strike.
You see the replay of that strike. There was just no doubt about it. As soon as he hit the 1-2 pocket and matches the mark put up by Dave. Dave looking for a big fill on the spare, drops 7, but a difficult spare lead. Leaves the 4, 6, and 10. Almost go after the 10-pin. Hopefully he can snap the wood across for the 4. That's what he's trying. Will it catch it? Not quite.
Missing by a fraction. Dave picks it up for the 10 box. Open in the 5th, though, 62 through 5. Jeff Surette waiting in the wings to meet the challenger for the championship and the $5,000 top prize.
Missing the head pin to the left is Dave Hodge. Leaves himself the 3, 6, 10, 4, 7 in the left-hand corner, and of course the 9-pin in the back row. Oh, almost converted that. Leaves just a 7.
So 6 boxes for Dave Hodge, 2 marks. Meantime, 3 of 4 for Bob Whitcomb as he steps in for the 5th and coming off that strike. So the 2-ball fill.
And whatever he drops with these first 2 balls will be the lead. He is at 52 plus these, and Dave Hodge is at 52, completed that frame. Wants the 7 or the 10 to go. Piece of wood in front of the 10. See if he can get some divine intervention here to get the 7-10. Just going to snap the wood and see what happens.
Gets the 7, leaves that 10, so a total fill of 9. He has yet to leave a pin standing, though. Let's see if he can keep that run going here in the 5th. You bet. Bob Whitcomb not making many mistakes, up to 71 through 5, so that's a 9-pin advantage. Now opposite a 10 box in the 6th. On the head pin, drops 9 of 10.
Leaving the 4-pin. Piece of wood comes up, freezes behind it. No problem.
That lead stays at 9, 81 to 72.
he's managed to put at least one mark up each of the 2 frames that he gets up to bowl, and it's put a lot of pressure on Dave Hodge.
Big 7th frame now. Gets 8 to go, leaves 2 there. The 9 and the 10 in the back. We'll check on the wood.
Kyle Lohman takes a quick look at it. We're quite a ways away from the lanes at Pilgrim Lanes. We're up in the back, and so it's very hard for Earl to carry out his normal duties. It's going to keep him back here with us.
That's a spare in the 7th. 3 marks now for Dave Hodge. Very important fill here in the 8th.
He definitely needs a decent fill and another mark. That's decent.
That qualifies. 2 left up. Can he make it back-to-back marks?
6 and 9, but not a good piece of wood from this angle anyways. We're not directly behind the bowlers. Now it looks like he has might have a clear shot at the 6 and 9.
He's after the 6, gets them both.
Huge marks in the 7th and 8th frames for Dave Hodge.
Now a little pressure mounts for Bob Whitcomb.
You see the replay, he negotiates that piece of wood out front, didn't want to come in contact with that, would have deflected the ball around one of those 2 pins. 2 marks though.
Here's a fill for Bob.
Oh, he's right in the ball. Wow. 5, 7, 10.
Not what he wanted. Leaves the kingpin. 2 goalposts, 7 and the 10. And then misses with his second ball. He will be open in the 7th. Fill of 7, nothing with the second ball. Third ball gets him 1 more. So he leaves 2 up, leaving some pins up for the first time today. His lead at 6, but now he's opposite another mark here in the 8th, and this one has just gotten considerably tighter.
Like the regular season, many times this Challengers match goes right down to the final 2, and that's not what Bob Whitcomb wanted. Takes out just the 3-pin, nothing else. Oh, what a conversion!
It moves, but it doesn't go. Literally moved the pin to the right, but it did not fall.
Regardless of what happens, Bob Whitcomb will have the final say. He'll have the final 2 frames. Right now, he's leading by just 6. And, of course, that could be erased right now with his first ball by Dave Hodge.
This first ball will add to his total in the 8th frame and also count in the 9th. A fill situation after the spare in the 8th. And a fill of all 10. What a clutch shot from Dave Hodge.
Take a look at this strike, I should say. 1-3 pocket. 4-pin, a little stubborn to go, but finally does.
The run of marks now at 3 in a row for Dave. 2-ball fill coming up. That gets him 3 on the first half of the fill.
All of a sudden, this ball becomes oh so important. Doesn't want a low fill on the strike in a bad frame. That would open the door up again for Bob Whitcomb.
Spread eagle 8 in the back.
Oh boy, just 5.
Twists and turns here in this Challengers match.
Well, Bob Whitcomb's going to need at least 1 mark to catch Dave Hodge, and it's just a 7 fill.
A total of 132 for Dave Hodge. That's 4 over his 128 average. And now Bob Whitcomb was open in the 8th. 2 boxes remaining. He has 106 at the moment.
Needs 27 pins to win the match. Oh, and he gets the dreaded spread eagle.
2, 4, 7, 3, 6, 10.
He may not make the spare, but what he wants to avoid is a bad frame.
No mark in the 9th.
Every pin important. He's going to have to put a spare or a strike up in the 10th frame to catch Dave Hodge.
After the 2 and the 4, gets them both. So he is at 116, down 16.
Why should it be any different for Dave Hodge? He's been on the bubble in the 3rd place most of the season. Now it boils down to the final frame. Well, he's going to have a spare leave. And the 2, 4, and 5, but not an easy one because of the sleeper, because of the 8 in the back. And he's going to take a quick look at that wood and go all the way to the foul line. If he's going to use the wood, he has to turn it and drive it back.
Needs this mark to keep alive any chance of catching Dave Hodge.
It'll be a great shot if he converts it. No, he doesn't.
No, he won't. So Dave Hodge will advance to take on Jeff Surette for the championship. Bob Whitcomb started hot in this one. Hodge finished hot. And it's a win for Dave Hodge by some 8 pins, 132-124. We're just warming up. The championship match still to come. Stay with us on CN8. Two-game championship match. The winner to take home $5,000. And as is traditional, the reigning champ, or in this case, the top seed, will bowl first in game one. That is 22-year-old Jeff Surette from Tewksbury, Massachusetts.
Oh, he doesn't waste any time.
Hello. No fooling around for the #1 seed.
And there's the replay, and get out of there, 5-pin. No chance.
First half of the fill off the strike gets him 7.
We should mention that Joe Cascio is the only person throwing a triple strike this season. He is in line to collect the entire $1,000 if no one does it today.
2 more added to the fill total, and outside, of course, of the 3 qualifiers for the championship show, Joe Cascio was the story of the regular season, winning 7 weeks in a row, threatening to tie Det Klein's all-time mark. And Joe, in fact, was knocked out of the top 3 by
none other.
Bob Whitcomb.
Yeah.
Beat him back in April.
Qualified for the show while doing it.
And moved Dave down into the 3rd spot. But right now, Dave is right there, challenging Jeff here for the $5,000 top prize. He won 132-124 over Bob a few minutes ago. He'll be open in the 1st.
Tried to use the wood on the 4, 7, 8, 9. The 9-pin gets it for the 10 box.
Dave says should he win the top prize, he's got a bunch of small problems he'd like to take care of and use it for a trip to Florida as well. 9 of 10 falling here in the 2nd box. Chance for his first mark if he can take out the 7.
Got it.
Strike for Surette in the 1st, spare for Hodge in the 2nd. Gets 8 to go.
He's got the 4 and the 10. He's going to try to snap that wood in front of the 4 and hopefully off the left sidewall and come across for the 10. Oh, missed the wood.
Just the 4, so the 10 hangs around. Jeff was the ICBA champion back in 2003. Quite accomplished for a young bowler. In fact, these are 2 young guns. Surette 22, Hodge 25.
And Jeff represented the state of Massachusetts in the ICBA tournament. Bowled extremely well in Canada, New Brunswick, as a matter of fact. Well, he's looking at the 5 and the 9. Looks like he could play the wood on the red line, but let's see if he could also get by it.
That's a spare for Jeff Surette in the 4th. Now to Dave, his fill in the 3rd. Had that spare back in the 2nd. We take the 2-game total to crown a champ. Good fill.
Big 9-pin drop. His ball just explodes the pins when he crosses over in the 1-2 pocket. Normally, that the right-hander wants to hit the 1-3. 6-pin, trying to make it 2 marks in a row.
Mission accomplished.
So far, we can honestly say that none of the bowlers have missed a legitimate spare leave of any kind. Missed a couple, but we don't call them legitimate with a tough piece of wood or a sleeper in the back. But bowler's been bowling extremely well.
4th frame now.
Oh, he trips the 5.
Just that 7 is up
For a minute, it looked like the 5-7, very difficult spare leave. Trip to 5, leaves just the 7 pin now. Try to make it 3 spares in a row.
Consecutive fills of 9. Ooh. 3 straight spares. He'll get another opportunity.
Not so sure he wanted to take a piece of that wood going in, but he did. Jeff Surette, our top seed, now trails by 9.
And that's a fill of 7 for Jeff.
The 1, 7, and 8. The wood in between the head pin and the 7 and 8 could help him with the 2 in the back row. Yes, it does. Beautiful shot by Jeff Surette.
Back and forth, these two bowlers. They're here for a reason.
You see, just catches the wood. The ball takes the head pin. Piece of wood takes the 7 and the 8.
That'd be a fill of 8.
Well, again, he's going to take a piece of the wood, drive it back. Hopefully, it'll come off the wall for the 9 pin. Oh, he's putting a clinic on out here.
3 spares in a row for Surette. 3 spares in a row for Hodge. Now it's back to Dave in the 5th.
He's working on a string of 3 consecutive spares himself. Cole wants the 7 pin to go. Not going to happen.
7, 6, and 10.
Double piece of wood in front of the 6-10. And looks like it's got a good angle to take the 7 out, but can it take the 6 and a 10 as well? Oh, leaves the 6.
6 won't go. So his run of marks ends at 3. And it's a 9 box.
And we're all knotted up. Through 5 frames, 74 apiece. Jeff Surette, however, has already put a mark up in the 6th. Oh, a light hit by Dave. Clears out 9, leaves just a 3.
This would be his 4th mark to match the 4 of Jeff Surette through 6.
Oh,
misses to the left.
One of the bowlers finally blinks. Missing that spare leave in the 3 pin.
84-84, but Surette with a fill coming up in the 7th. That's when we come back on the $30,000 Candlepin Challenge Championship Edition. Championship match, Jeff Surette and Dave Hodge. And it's Jeff now, game 1, 7th frame. Coming off the mark in the 6th. In fact, it was his 3rd straight spare.
And he'll take the lead with this ball. Oh, just 3.
Got some work to do if he wants to keep alive that run of spares.
Oh, everything
almost
but the 7.
It's a 9, 1 pin left up. 96 the score for Jeff Surette through 7 in game 1.
Light hit, scrambles him for the strike.
His 2nd strike, had one back in the 1st to open with. Now here in the 8th.
Just barely touches the head pin. Head pin goes right to the right sidewall, but does a lot of damage coming back for the strike.
The gentle touch delivering for the FedEx drive for Jeff Surette.
I'm sure he's that gentle with all his packages, too.
5 down, 5 up.
4 horsemen to the right, 1, 3, 6, and 10 with the 8 pin in the back. And they're all gone. Spare, another spare for Dave Hodge, his 4th one of the match. You see the replay.
Big Phil now in the 8th. Again, 5 dropping.
Takes the lead by 3 pins, at least temporarily. Jeff Surette has already posted a strike in the 8th. This time 4 horsemen left, plus the 9 pin.
It's just the head pin.
I heard the groan from the crowd. Thought he had a shot at that. Took out just the head pin.
Makes it a 9-box. 2-pin advantage for Dave. However, a 2-ball fill upcoming for Jeff Surette. We're on to the 9th frame. First half of the fill gets him 7.
He's got the 6-pin with piece of wood next to it. I think that's the shot he'll take and try to slide the piece of wood into the 4 and 7. Oh, not enough to catch the 4. It's a 9 fill in the strike, though. Gives him the lead back by 7.
Want to take this opportunity to thank the loyal audience members that have showed up all season long up in Woburn and now today here in Haverhill. Just great crowds from start to finish.
Right through the middle. Spread eagle with a clipped wing on the right. 10-pin is no longer there.
So Jeff losing a little momentum down the stretch here in game 1.
He'll be open the 9th and 10th frames. Give Dave Hodge an opening to reclaim the lead. We've got another game to go. Championship matches, 2 games.
2 straight 9 boxes, a total of 133 for Jeff in game 1. Dave in the 9th. On the headpin, gets 6 to go. 3, 4, 6, 7. He will be open as well.
Well, it's an 8-pin advantage for our top seed, Jeff Surette. Final frame.
Seven-pin drop. Can he end with a mark?
1, 3, and 7. Try to split the 1 and 3, have the headpin take the 7, or play to the left of the headpin, have the ball deflect off the headpin and take it. Oh, he split it. It flew right in front of the 7, never touched it. So our top seed is going to have the lead going into the second game.
And that lead stands at 7 pins, 133, 126. We're halfway home to awarding $5,000. Don't go anywhere. Back with more after this. 7 pins, and he will go first. Don't know if that's good or bad. The pressure is on him right off the bat in game 2. You see his qualifying score of 285. Third best score of the regular season.
The dreaded half Worcester. The 2 and the 8 out of there. Not an easy spare to convert, obviously.
And he won't do it. He will be open in the first. Had a total of 4 marks in game 1. All spares. 9 box in the first. Over to lane 10. On the head pin.
Wants that wood to stick around because the 5, 6, and 10 alone is very difficult. It hasn't got a good angle on the wood either, but better there than not having the piece. And he'll use that, and hopefully he'll get something coming off the sidewall for the 5, as well as the 6 and 10. Oh, nicely done.
Great execution from Dave Hodge. His first mark in game 2 coming in the second frame, a spare. We take a second look.
The ball take the 5-pin? Yes, the ball took the 5-pin on the way by, and the wood took the 6-10. Great shot by Dave Hodge.
Jeff, almost a strike. That's what he did to open game 1.
Leaves just the 6-pin.
Spare in the first.
Off the head pin, but wait.
They keep going. Just
Huge break.
7 and the 10 remain, so a fill of 8.
And he's got a spare leave here. Not an easy one, but he can play the wood in front of the 7, have the ball take the 7, the wood go across for the 10. Oh, missed the wood.
Jeff is 22 years old, started bowling as far as he can recall at age 1.5 at the Candlewood Lanes in North Reading, influenced by his father Tom. Just out of the crib, probably wasn't out of the crib at that age, and already bowling. 4 horsemen to the left for Dave Hodge, so that's a fill of 6. The 1, 2, 4, and 7. Can he make it back-to-back marks? It's an 8 box.
See, in the audience today, John, is Pete Iannuzzo. The last 2 weeks, if people were following the show, very nearly, there's a big strike, made the show and knocked Dave Hodge out. Big strike by Dave Hodge.
Also in attendance today, Dave Richards, last year's champion, who quite surprisingly didn't qualify any of the roll-offs to be on the show this year. Tried.
Yeah, it says it wasn't from lack of effort, but just couldn't make it.
Jeff misses the mark here in the 3rd. Good example of just how competitive the Candlepin bowling field is out there. When you try to get on the program, the defending champ could not make his way back. So Jeff with the 9 box, he's at 37. Now opposite the strike in the 4th, this could be a key, crucial swing frame. Just 6 remain after this. Getting a lot of late pins to go here in this lane is Jeff Surette.
The 1 and the 8. No pieces of wood really to help him. Almost got the hit the head pin flush, but a lot of times you drive it right straight by the 8. Oh, great shot. You don't know how difficult that was.
Clutch mark for Jeff Surette.
Drove it right straight back into the 8 pin. Great shot. Dave Hodge now looking possibly to throw a double strike. That $1,000 is out there.
Huge fill.
He misses the target head pin, that is. Leaves himself to 1, 3, 6, 7. From lack of effort, just missing the 7 pin for that conversion of a spare.
Does pick up the pin, though. The 62 now in the lead in the game. But of course, Jeff had the spare in the 4th. He'll add to his total. Dave drops 9. 7 wanted to go too.
And the 8 pin was the last one to go and almost clipped the 7 pin as it was going down. Piece of wood out in front.
Third mark of this game for Dave Hodge, 7th of the match. 6 spares and a strike. Now to Jeff Surette, fill in the 5th. Fills it up with 6. Can't pick up the spare.
Tried to split the 3 and the 6 and just went by the 3.
Even Steven through 5 in the game, but still a 7-pin advantage for Jeff Surette overall. But now opposite the spare in the 6th. Can he match it?
Well, he's going to have to do it with the diamond leave, the 2, 4, 5, and 8. Yes! Oh, my!
Got it on the back end. Clutch mark from Jeff Surette. We should have a terrific finish with more bowling like this. Wow. Back with the final 4 frames to crown a champion. We welcome you back to Pilgrim Lanes in Haverhill for the final 4 frames of the season, and boy, it should be a terrific finish. The #1 seed, Jeff Surette, out by 7 pins, heading to the 7th box, and both bowlers coming off spares in these 6th frames.
Hush of the crowd.
Here is the fill.
Oh, that's a huge fill. They just exploded off the ball of Dave Hodge. Take a look. Oh, my.
Now to the 8th, 2-ball fill, of course.
Well, that was just as good, it looked like anyways, but he leaves himself the 4, 9, and 10. I almost want to try that wood. Try to carry him the ball off the wood for the 4-pin, have the wood take the 9 and 10. Nope.
He's open in the 8th, total fill of 8. And I'm guessing that Dave Hodge is pretty much going to have a mark for every mark Jeff Surette gets, and probably one more than Jeff. He is temporarily moved into the lead. Now Jeff, the fill in the 7th.
Oh, and he matches strikes.
Anything you can do, I can do better, says the #1 seed.
Wow. There you see the replay. Carbon copy of the one that Dave Hodge just threw. Looking for the double. Almost.
9 of 10. And a mark right here would make it real difficult for Dave Hodge over the final 2 frames. Dave knows it. You can see the expression on his face. Wow, big miss for Jeff.
Well, he elected to go after the wood instead. I think he had a clear shot at the 7-pin. When you get my age, you do that. I'm not so sure that a ball of his caliber, but that's what he decided to do. So he leads by 9. Boxes completed. Final 2 now. Obviously, Dave Hodge needs at least 1 mark, probably 2 to win.
Dave in the 9th. High drama championship match. Oh. Misses badly to the right.
That got away from him.
Can't mark in the 9th. He'll need a mark in the 10th to have a chance.
I think Surette is discussing that a lot with the people in the audience.
Gets all 10 to move to 118. You can see Jeff looking away, taking a look at the scores.
Needs 1 more. At least the wood's set up. All right. He's got the 5-6 piece of wood. Just drive it straight back. He doesn't want to be too far right or left of the red line.
Got them both. That's a mark, and he earns an extra ball.
You see the replay. He'd love to drop a strike here. That would force Jeff to get a mark. Oh, let it go. Wow.
Picks up just 3, a total of 131 here in game 2. It's a 2-game total.
It's probably the only bad ball that Dave threw all day, is that one on the spare. So
Jeff takes out 9 in the 9th. You see Jeff bowling on his left hand with one of the Lance Armstrong Foundation Live Strong bracelets, partially in honor of his father, who passed away from cancer a year ago today, as we tape this show.
That is a 9 box. That does not count. That is a 9 box.
We taped the show on the anniversary of Tom Surette's passing, and of course it airs on Father's Day weekend.
And there's your champ.
And Jeff Surette has done it, inspired perhaps by his father Tom, certainly by his support here today, and the fact that he's just one heck of a young bowler at the age of 22. And there's your champion, Jeff Surette. 4-pin victory, total of 261 to 257. Dave Hodge won game 2, but overall it's Jeff Surette who gets the $5,000 champions check. We will present it with the champ and speak with all the bowlers when we come back to Pilgrim Lanes in Haverhill right after this. And Jeff Surette winning by just 4 pins over Dave Hodge.
And both matches. The Challengers match went right down to the final 2 frames. Bob Whitcomb could have been in the finals. Dave Hodge threw a streak there, 2 or 3 marks in a row. That was great. Then the second match, it just went back and forth. One guy would throw a strike, the other guy would match. It was just a great match all the way around.
We will speak with the champ and present him with his $5,000 check. But first, some other checks certainly worth presenting. Trina Fernandez. Trina?
Thank you, John. Well, you said it, Dan. We had 2 great matches, 2 squeakers. We'll start with you, Bob. Whew, that was so close. How are you feeling?
Oh, I feel good. It was a great match, and Dave got even this year, so now we're 1-1. I got him last year in a great match, and he got me this year in a great match, and we went back and forth. It was terrific. So hopefully we'll hold a rubber match next year, and it was great all the way around. It was terrific.
And like we said, this is all gravy because you get $1,000 from the ICBA. So I'll go ahead and give that to you now.
That's not too hard to take for 1 string.
Not a bad day.
No, not a bad day.
All right. And, all right, Mr. Hodge, talk about a squeaker. It came down to the last box and the fill on the last box. Walk us through it.
I mean, you always say it comes down to the last box. I mean, we went back and forth the whole time. It was an awesome match. And I knew I needed to put one up there. I needed to do something to force him to throw one mark. And I put one up there, and I didn't have anything on it. I kind of let it go. And I mean, shouldn't have come down to that. I mean, he bowled great, and it was an awesome match. Squeakers, that's all about bowling. That's Canopy bowling squeakers. So, I mean, it was a good match.
Well, Jeff did bowl well, but you bowled just as well. Yeah. It was very exciting. What a great day. And we have $2,500 for you from the ICBA. So that's a nice day at the office for you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, and hopefully we'll see both of you back again next year. All right, now over for the big check. Back to you.
Trina, thank you. 2 very worthy challengers. Bob Perella on the board of directors for the ICBA joins us now, and he has a special presentation for Jeff Surette.
Thank you very much, John. On behalf of the International Candle and Bowling Association and American Car Care Centers, I'm proud to present this check for $5,000 for some fantastic bowling to Jeff Surette. Congratulations, Jeff.
Thank you very much.
Jeff, that was a close match in the championship with Dave Hodge. What were your emotions like?
It was just back and forth. I mean, he got up to a mark. I had to come back and match it, and thankfully I did.
What do you do with $5,000? That's a lot of money to spend and win.
I got a baby to take care of, so that's going to go to that.
You have a 2-month-old daughter, Carly. Yep. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And I got an apartment to pay for, so
excellent.
It's going to go to good use.
And today is an emotional day for you. As we taped this program a year ago today, you lost your dad to cancer. Was that some extra motivation as you bowled?
Oh, definitely. He was up there helping me on, rooting me along like he always has been. So it's good to win it for him.
I know, Jeff, that he's probably up there watching it, and he's going to ask the same question I'm going to ask you. You had that 7-pin, you had a wide-open shot at it, and you played the wood. And when you get Bob's age and my age, that's when you use the wood. You don't use it. Can you, I'm sure your dad's saying, what are you doing?
Yeah, he's probably kicking me up there, but, hey, I thought it looked good.
It looked great to me. Great bowling, though.
Thank you.
Congratulations again, Jeff, for Dan and Bob Perella and our CNA crew. I'm John Holt. We thank you for watching. We'll see you again next fall for another season of the $30,000 Candlepin Challenge.
All in the finals last year and walked away with $2,500. But Joe, as Dan was just mentioning, got the triple strike, and he was the only one to get the triple strike last year and won $1,000, so not bad. Welcome back.
Oh, thank you very much.
How you feeling? What's this new season? You just missed the finals last year, right behind Dave. What's your strategy to get in there this year?
Yep, Dave was in my way last year, but he's going to be in my way this year too. So, one game at a time. We'll take it like that.
All right. Well, good luck this season.
Thank you.
And Dave, welcome back.
Thank you.
$2,500, not bad for a day's work.
That was definitely nice. It's like 5 weeks pay, so it was nice to bowl. So it's something you love to do. It's great.
And you guys are both from Methuen. You were saying that you grew up bowling against each other. So you've known each other since you were
Yeah, we
kids.
bowled in the kids league against each other all the time. He was from here, but I was originally from Melrose, and we always used to see each other all the time. I was a couple years older than him, but so it's always good. You know, when we're older now, we bowl against each other in a real thing. So it's fun. It's great.
So it's an old rivalry, but a friendly one.
Absolutely, always.
All right. Back over to you guys.
Trina, thank you. Dave, no matter who wins that Challengers match, you are going to have some stiff competition to keep your title.
Yeah, I mean, they're both great bowlers. I know them both pretty well, and I'm just looking forward to see who I get a bowl.
What went right for you when you won last week, champ? What went right for you with your game?
I just felt I hit the head pin enough and picked up my spare leaves and filled them well, so I did what I had to do.
Well, good luck again today.
Thank you.
Back with the Challengers match right after this on CN8. Hodge and Joe Cascio. Dave to go first. He, of course, was on our championship show last season. Heck of a bowler, as is Joe Cascio, the winner to meet Dave Barber. The one-game Challengers match. Not a lot of room for error in that. Oh. No error on that one. Starts with a strike.
Thrust over in the 1-2 pocket, and you have to watch, even with a slow motion shot, these pins are cleared out in a hurry. Take a look at this one. Wow. No doubt about it. 1/3 of the way to that $1,000 we were talking about at the beginning of the show.
Over to lane 36. First half of the fill gets him 6 as the 4-7, 6-10 still up.
Well, his best bet is try to get that wood moving in front of the 6-10, somehow snap it against the 6-10 and across for the 4-7. Let's see if he can execute. Wow, everything but the 10. You would think that would be one of the easier ones of the 4 that were standing, but a nice 9 fill on that strike.
$29 through 2 for Dave. Mr. Streak, Joe Cascio, last season 7 in a row for Joe.
And a number of times he challenged none other than Dave Hodge for that 3rd spot in the final show. It kept coming up a few pins short a number of different times.
He's off to the left. He'll drop 7.
This leaves the 1, the 8, and the 9, a piece of wood next to the head pin. If he can catch the head pin in that wood, possibly off the sidewall for the 9 and the 10, or the 8 and the 9, I should say.
Leaves the 9 in the back row. He will be open opposite that strike from Dave Hodge. Early advantage for Dave. Nine box. Good crowd on hand here at the Woburn Bowlerdrome. Supporters for both bowlers, as well as our returning champ, Dave Barber, looking to make it 2 weeks in a row. He'll be up in just a little bit.
Missing the head pin, leaving the 1, 3, 7, 8.
Missed the head pin again.
Really difficult if your timing is a little bit off. You're struggling a little bit in this Challengers match because it is only that one game. So you've got to come out firing, and of course Dave Hodge did with the opening ball, a strike.
Pair of 9s for Joe Cascio to 18. He's in an early hole, and back to Dave Hodge with that average of 128. Drops 7.
7, 8, and the 5 pin. Trying to cut the 5 pin in the right-hand side. That's the way to do it. Great shot by Dave Hodge.
Fair in the 3rd, second mark of the match.
Catches a little piece of the wood as well. 5 pin flies into the 7, comes off the wall for the 8. Great shot. Spare in the 3rd.
Phil now in the 4th for Dave Hodge. And he'll get 5 to go. Add 5 to that total back in the third box.
4 horsemen right, plus the 8 pin in the back row.
Three more. Two marks and 2 open frames for Dave Hodge. Total of 53 through 4. Joe doesn't want to go without a mark for a couple more, and then he'll really be in a hole.
He's going to find that head pin with that first ball. That's the key. Just catches a piece of it there.
Drops 6.
Love to see that 7 go, but he's got a few possibilities. Piece of wood closest to him. Maybe the ball can carry him off that for the 6-10 and have the wood do damage on the 5-7. Got a chance. No. So he'll be open the first 3.
Does get a 10 box, pushes the score up to 28. And now into the 4th. Lanes 35 and 36 in use as usual.
There's another light hit, but this time on the 1-3 pocket. Leaves himself the 2 and the 7 and a piece of wood behind the 2. Seems like a sure bet if he catches the 2 pin for the spare. Well,
not the 7.
So much for your sure bet, Dan. You never know.
Just keep your opinions to yourself
Yeah.
the rest of the way.
Joe's probably saying thanks a lot.
So open 1, 2, 3, and 4 for Joe, and he is down some 16 pins.
16 pins, 2 marks. Another look at Dave Hodge now. 35 is lane 35 has been very good to him through a strike in the first frame and a spare the last time up.
Missed the head pin to the left. Get 2.
So as soon as I mention he's having success on 35, it stops.
Strike, spare, and now open in the 5th on 35. Over to the 6th frame. Gets half of them to go.
In a strange leave. Just when you think you've seen all the leaves possible, he has the head pin, the 1, 4, 7, 8, and 9. Well, chance for Joe Cascio. Get right back in it. 2 open frames.
3 in the back row. Left to right, 7, 8, 9. Misses them all. So Joe has a chance, but he will need marks. 3 in a row open for Dave Hodge and daylight for Joe Cascio. There you go, 9 of 10. Just the 10 up.
No.
Still without a mark. Four 9s and a 10 bucks for Joe Cascio. Gives him a total of 46. You look at the friends and family of Joe. They were here for that run last year, all 7. Not quite as successful today so far. There you go, though. Needed that, and he's showing some life. It's not over yet, and the fan club loves it.
I'm sure he's thinking about the single pin on the box before, the 10-pin he missed. This would have been the fill. And there's you see the strike for Joe Cascio.
7th now for Dave. Trying to answer with a strike. Instead, he'll drop 6.
He actually moved that 10-pin a little bit off the spot, but didn't knock it down. 2, 4, 7, 10. No wood to play. Got to split the 2 and the 4.
Leaves the 7 to the left. So after marking in 2 of the first 3, will now be open 4 in a row. See what he can do in the 8th. Dave Barber waiting in the wings. Play the winner of the Challengers match in that 2-game championship match.
Hey.
All 10 of them. Clutch strike from Dave Hodge.
Striking that setup frame, the 8th frame. Set yourself up for that final 2. And you see a replay of that last strike by Dave Hodge, just tripping the 6-pin. But this is triple strike man you're looking at. He was the only one bowler last year, I should say, as Trina pointed out. So he'd love a double right here. Not a double.
7 of 10.
It's a tough leave. 5, 8, and 10. I try to split the 5 and the 10, 5 and the 8.
So it's a total fill of 8. .72. Got the lead down to 7, but he is opposite the strike in the 8th.
Yeah, he really needs to match some kind of mark up here in the 8th, strike or spare. Keep pace with Dave Hodge. Going into the final 2 frames. Guys have a chance with a 2, 4, and 7.
Got him. So a spare in the 8th, and we have a match.
Hold on to your hats, boys and girls. Final 2 frames.
Of course, a huge opportunity right now for Dave Hodge with the fill in the 9th.
I'm sure he's thinking strike.
Gets 7 to start. One more ball coming up.
2, 4, 6 left. Sounds easy enough, but 2, 4 is on the left with a lone 6 on the right.
Right through the middle.
Those are important pins. Those would have been the fill on that strike.
2 more. 105 through 9.
As it stands right now, Joe Cascio will need at least 1 more mark. So it's very important for Dave Hodge to put a mark in the 10th. That will force Joe Cascio probably to mark out.
Gets 6 to go. Yeah, that 6 sliding off at the last minute. 4 up, 6 down. He's open.
Yeah, every one of these pins is very important. It's at 112 right now. 114. Joe Cascio's at 102 clip plus this fill, so he needs at least another mark. First order of business, though, is to get a decent fill with this first ball, 1,035,000.
Deficit of 32 pins at the moment.
Oh, to the left. Got a great break off the head pin, though. 7. going to have to convert this or mark in the 10th to have a chance. That'll be the 10th.
Got to stay focused, though, to pick up these two. Could be crucial.
That fewer pins he'll need on the fill. And he's out with a 9. So it's a mark 6 to tie, mark 7 to win. And as is the case many times, right, John? This Challengers match can be so exciting. Coming down to the last frame again. Who will it be taking on our champ, Dave Barber?
See what Joe can do.
Just the head pin. Got the 1-3-7-8. No wood.
Needs a mark here to stay alive.
He got it! What a shot in the 10th! My, oh my.
6 to tie, 7 to win it.
He splits the 1 and the 3. At first, I thought just the 8-pin was going to go. Twirled around and knocked the 7 down as well. So 6 to tie, 7 to win.
Just this one ball.
He's got it.
Joe Cascio is your winner. Takes it by 2 pins.
Wow.
Talk about drama. How about that? 116-114. Hot start by Dave Hodge, but Joe Cascio with a strong finish. He's on to meet Dave Barber when we come back to Woburn. We take the 2-game total to crown this week's champ. And Dave starts by dropping 6 pins.
If the warm-up means anything, Dave was just on fire warming up before we started the show.
Three, 6, 10. So an 8-box to open with for Dave. Four, 7, 6, 10. Wood in between. So open and open to begin.
I'm sure Joe Cassio's thinking, I want to get off to a better start, a quicker start than I did against Dave Hodge.
8 followed by a 9, total 17.
He was open the first 5 boxes, then threw 3 marks out of the next 5 in that Challengers match.
Hoping to get 1 more to go. Rocking in the back row.
There's another one rocking. Wanted to catch a little of that wood and try to slide the wood to the left. Very, very nearly did that. Just looking at 3 more pins. Make it a 9-box. Make it 8.
Matching the 8 of Dave Barber. Second ball for Joe. Gets 8 to go.
Moved that 2-pin, rocked it back and forth, didn't fall for him. Was looking at the 2 and the 10. Oh my, almost converted that.
Total of 18. Nearly had the 2 fall into the 10.
Miss-
All set to resume now. Nine of 10 for Dave.
He leaves just a 10. Big ball. Dave Barber.
Waiting on his ball from the ball return.
Now we're all set. Now he's got one coming back at him.
He's got his own ball return system.
Hey, might get a strike. Can he take it over, he says. Look at that. Huh?
8 followed by 2 9s.
Light hit this time, leaves the 3 and the 6.
Look of concentration on Dave's face. And a mark. Mark in the 4th, his first of the match. Now to Joe in the 3rd. One thing we found with Joe, as you might imagine, when someone wins 7 weeks in a row, consistency. Doesn't have too many down spots. Consistent. Getting 9 in this case. Has that 10 up.
This time his piece of wood in front of it. Uh-oh. Ooh. He wanted to avoid that front one. Big smile.
Knows he got away with it, but hey, mark for Joe in the 3rd.
Joe is not one who shows a lot of emotion up there either. Trying to get by the front piece, but he caps it, and the ball goes over the 2nd piece of wood into the 10 pin. Spare is a spare.
And it's a fill of 7.
1, 3, and 7 pins left. Similar to the shot he won the Challengers match with. Just the 8 pin is missing.
That's 9 added to the total. 44, 8-pin advantage, but Dave Barber will fill it up here in the 5th.
Wants a 7 pin to go, it does.
Great fill of 9.
He's faced with that 10 pin that he had trouble with a couple boxes ago, and this one is a tough piece of wood out in front. He may be able to get by it. No.
Made contact, and it cost him the spare. So he's at 55 through 5. First game of 2. Spread eagle. So 1, 5, 8, 9 to go. And then the 3.
Both bowlers trying to find the range early in the match. Our championship part of our show. 63.
Fifth frame for Joe. Owns that high single of 174. Right in the head pin, it gets 6. 2, 4, 7, 10 over to the right.
Oh, right around the 10 pin.
That stubborn 10 stays up, so he's open here.
Well, he's made some terrific spares today, and he's missed a couple more that we thought he should have had. That was a great effort there. No luck.
Now opposite another open frame. Currently down a pin to Dave Barber.
Two, 4, 5, 7. Cluster of 4 pins in the left-hand corner. So close, but no mark.
Just at 5, the kingpin. He'll target it with the third ball. And he'll move a pin ahead. 64, 63 through 6 frames of game 1. Back with more from the Woburn Bowlerdrome on CN8 right after this. Advantage for Joe Cascio. Still seated over Dave Barber, who's about to bowl. 7th frame, game 1. He's got 1 mark so far. Spare back at the 4th. Gets 7 to go. Not textbook, but
Got to catch the 5 pin in the wood. Wood should have a good chance of taking the 6-10.
all 3 go. 2nd mark for him.
He thought he might have gone too far right on that wood, but was enough to catch it. And there's his Hall of Fame dad, Jimmy Barber, in the audience. It was right on the red line, I believe, yeah. But enough to catch the ball in, or carry the ball into the 5 pin. That's a foot foul. He fouled on the foot foul. He's going to have to reset.
So missed opportunity there. You don't see that very often here in the show.
No, he actually did that a couple times warming up too.
Not happy, you can see. Starting to pick up some momentum.
Just a 6 box.
And as we see with the young bowler sometime, it's all a matter of staying mentally focused when something like that doesn't go your way.
Yeah, you have to do it 1 box at a time. You just got to forget about that minor mistake, and long ways to go in the match.
Now to Joe. He'll get 7 a fall. It's the 3 and the 6. Goes after that 3. So just an 8.
Champ has a 1 pin advantage, though. At least momentarily.
Good opportunity for a spare for Joe in the 8th. Wood out in front. Should be a gimme. Got it. So Joe Cascio now in the lead and with a mark in the 8th. See if Dave can regroup after that foot fault.
Leaves just the 6 pin. Got a clear shot at it.
Got it. So he pulled it together.
Bouncing right back after that mishap. Spare in the 9th. Moves over to the lane where that football occurred. Oh, and a strike on Spare.
Stringing them together. He'll get 2 bonus balls to finish game 1. Dad, of course, likes it very much.
Dad's thrown a few of those in his day.
Another ball. Chance to get 2 more pins. Pad that total. So you throw out the foot fault. Bowling very well down the stretch. 7, 8, 9, 10. 118 for game 1.
Joe Cascio working on a spare in the 8th now, trying to match what Dave Barber did the final 2 with a couple marks.
And he will get 5 on the fill.
2, 4, 5, 7, 8. Piece of wood in between that could help him. A little light on the 2 and the 4. .96.
But opposite the strike in the 10th. To the right, 1, 3, 6. Can't get the middle ones. So it'll be Dave Barber for the lead heading into game 2. A lead of some 12 pins, 118 to 106. We'll start the second game right after this on CNH. Joe Cascio will open up play in the second game. Dave Barber up some 12 pins, 118, 106. If we learned anything more about Joe Cascio in the Challengers match, do not
As we speak, he throws a strike.
Calm and cool, Joe Cascio.
He really is.
Joe Cool.
Doesn't change his expression whether he's throwing a strike or a 6 box. It doesn't make any difference. He just keeps plugging along. A little light hit there, like some mixing action, but he's going to leave himself to 7-10. But with a possibility with the wood out in front. Try to make the ball take the 10 and the wood take the 7. The second piece of wood may hinder that shot a little bit. Right in front of the 7. He's come so close to some great spare opportunities.
So it's a total of 9 in the fill. $29 through 2. Needs to make up those 12 pins and more to win. Dave drops 6.
3-6 on the right, 4-7 in the left-hand corner. Ideally, wants to split the 3-6. Just missing, just going by that 3-pin.
The 6 only.
Lead back down to just 1 for our champ, Dave Barber.
Of the 10, and the 7 remains.
Immediately dropped 8, and I thought he was going to be left with the 5-7. Piece of wood came off the right sidewall, clears the 5 out, and as John said, just a 7-pin for the spare.
Got it.
Right on it.
So his first mark is a spare in the second. First mark of the second game. Joe getting 8 to go. 3 and the 5. Still staring him down. The kingpin. So that is a 9 box. To the 4th now. Off to the left, gets 4 to fall.
Piece of wood in behind the head pin and the 3-pin. Couldn't help him, but he's got to be on the head pin with this ball. Again, missing that head pin. So after opening with a strike, he's opened the next 3 frames. While our champ, Dave Barber, will get up in the 3rd and work on a spare.
Fill ball in the 3rd. Decent one.
Yo,
very good.
All.
Better than decent. All 10. Slow to develop, but a strike for Dave Barber.
Looks like the 9 and the 6 were going to be left. The 9 topples. It takes the 6 with it for the strike on spare. Looking for the double.
First half of his fill gets him 7.
Let's see if he can split the 3-6. Got 3-6 on the right with a 4-pin. Yes! Oh, perfectly done. What a shot.
And turning up the heat on Joe Cascio. 3 in a row. Spare, strike, spare.
Splits the 3 and the 6. Watch the 3-pin right into the, and it goes quick. Great shot. 3 in a row now for Dave Barber, our champ.
This is Joe in the 5th. Has the 6 and 10. Chance to get a mark of his own. Trying to keep pace.
He's not going away anytime soon, Joe Cascio. Needs a big fill and another mark, though. Put a little pressure on Dave Barber.
Big fill, 6th.
Missing that head pin. It's not like Joe missed the head pin as many times as he had with the first ball. Leads himself to 1-3-7. Phil is decent with 7, but difficult spare lead.
He's going to need probably some consecutive marks here down the stretch to narrow that gap. To Dave, speaking of consecutive marks, looking for his 4th in a row.
Decent fill off the head pin, drops 8, leaving the 1-3.
Spare, and a strike in the 3rd, spare in the 4th, another spare in the 5th. Yes. Very, very solid bowling.
Light hit, but a good mixing action, leaving the 4 and 7. Another 8 fill on a spare. And he's on cruise control right now. Will it be 5 marks in a row?
Real makeable for the right-hander. You bet. 5 in a row for Dave Barber. 4 spares and a strike. He's in excellent condition as we come down the stretch. Back to wrap it up right after this on CN8. 4 frames to go. Joe is open in the 6th, now here in the 7th. After 7 wins in a row a season ago, Joe finding it challenging just to get 1 this time around. Some stiff competition. There you go, though. Little life. Strike in the 7th.
Yeah, he's got to be thinking consecutive strikes now. You see the replay. Ball right in the 1-3 pocket. 7 and then 8 pins. The last 2 to go for the strike. Needs another.
Will not get it.
He pulled the ball far left.
He's open. Total fill of 7. Now at 101 through 8. Can the run of marks continue for Dave Barber? 5 in a row and counting.
Oh,
like
my.
I said, 6 in a row and counting.
Of course, it's early in the season as we see the replay of that strike, but he's got a chance to put a huge total up, and we're going to go back and think of that foot foul. What had a 9-pin drop on that spare. Looking for the double strike. Oh, that close.
Just a 10.
Oh, my. Well, he's going to convert the 10-pin for his 7th consecutive. I heard his father say, play the wood. When you get our age. Maybe it was not a bad idea.
So the run ends. 6 in a row. Very impressive. First open frame since the first here at Game 2.
132 after 8 boxes, and unless falls completely apart,
he's going to retain his title.
All right, he's going to win for the 2nd time in a row.
Joe in the 9th. And he will be open. Up to 110. already looking at a 132.
And Joey fights to the end.
Most, of course, he can get here is 30.
It won't be enough to win, but I'm sure he's thinking, hey, let me throw another triple strike.
Why not? So Dave Barber going to be back for another week. A little light. And the last ball now for Joe Cascio. Gets him to 126 for game 2.
And the 232 total, Dave Barber's already at 260, 250.
It's going to be a good feeling to step up for 9 and 10, knowing it's already iced.
He's thinking big total. It's a couple more marks, and you have a pretty good total. Got this 4 and 7 piece of wood out in front, another one right nestled against the 4 and 6 pins. Whoa.
Got them both.
Almost went too far left.
So a spare of the 9th. Adding to his total with the fill.
Wow. Almost looked like the spread eagle, and then the 2, 4, and 7 toppled. Gives him an 8 fill and a 150 through 9.
Oh, no mark here, though.
Hit the object pin, the 6 pin, but just drove it straight back, missed the 10.
$159 in the game, total of 277. Solid 2-game total. Remember that number. 45-pin victory for Dave Barber, a champ for the 2nd straight week. Some final thoughts. Foot fault, and who knows what that total might be.
Exactly, and of course it ran that streak of 6 or 7 marks in a row, and that was the end of that, I guess.
Dave Barber will be back next week to defend his title once again. Hope you are too. See you next time on the $30,000 Candlepin Challenge.